Here we go again, sailing with the crew. Safety training is done. Safety briefing, engine check is done. Engine is already running. Last checks, and then we can go. Explaining everything that we are doing. And then we can start, of course, with sailing and going out. So I have one crew member that is a little bit experienced with me and my boat, and his brother. So now I can trust my crew for this time, and I know there is just one people relaxing. So we are with two for the real work, if I need to count it. But I normally do it solo, so I think it's not a problem. For sure in light winds it's easy to set sail, so explaining everything that we are doing or what I will do. When I need to go off the boat, I will do it instead of my crew, because I know what I'm doing, and if there is a trouble, there is nobody falling into the water at this point. Engine is running, so when you come in the prop, we don't want that. So that's a part of my safety plan on board as well. To know what we ask on our crew and what are the dangers and how we can assess the dangers and bring the risk as low as possible, of course. So preparing, spring lines are done, engine is on forward, my tiller is locked with the bungee. Quick cleanup as much as possible. So bow line is off as well. That's the line that will stay on the dock. And now I show how you can slip line your boat. So the aft is an aft spring, and we can slip it if we need. So here you see when my boat is engine is in forward. I do it now in neutral for a second. Off the cleat, unlock the tiller, and we can set sail. And now I can steer with my knees. First control or have control with myself and say what to do with crew. So there is also one guy already that is going to the bow for have a lookout. It's 5 or 6 meters further, so he can see further than me at this point. And when he is there, when he will come back, he can bring the fenders as well. Nicely coming out, it's high water, so you don't see that there are rocks on the right side. That's why we keep on the left, on our port side, instead of going to the middle or to the right side. And in the meantime, of course, explaining the harbor and what we need to do on the new crew member. And when we are coming back, I can give orders or just give instructions. But I hear the story that if you were a skipper, you not give instruction, but you give orders. I think it's a nice thing to know that there are people that are thinking that way, but for me it's just instructions. And when I need to do it, I can do it on my own. So just give instructions and take over if needed. So for now, just have a proper lookout, clean up my lines in the meantime, steer with my knees, going through the old lock, and then you're ready to go, of course. And then you're coming. Bringing the fenders and storing the cockpit locker, of course. There are some people that laying it just on board, but I like my boat as clean as possible, so we store it in the cockpit locker. My boat is made for 5 to 8 people, but if you see this, I think 3 is more than enough. Maybe 4 is possible, but I don't think that's an ideal situation. So 2 is perfect, 3 is enough, and 4 is too much for what I think. So cleaning out the last fender, ball fender. It will be a little cushion for our back as well, but they are too big for going in the cockpit locker, so just haul them inside the boat that I can't lost them. And now we can go out, and when we are far enough out, we can turn around and hoist the sails, of course. So just a little bit enjoying, steering, explaining what we will do, and we will come back in a second when we can hoist the sails. So for now we are not clipped in because it's just a light breeze. It's not that much of wind. But if you go forward, still clip in. For now, it's not that much of a breeze. But if you not know how to do it, I will clip the person in, of course, and explain what to do. So that's why I will clip him in, because he don't know what is the feeling on the boat in the front, on the bow. So he likes to go forward for now, because there is not a sail yet. And here we say, I know now why I need to clip him. I feel it already. So the guy that is steering now, I did more than 100 nautical mile with him, so I trust him with my boat. And I know what he is doing and what he can and can't do when I need to be. So we did the sail of 74 nautical mile in one time, day and night hours. So then you need to trust each other, of course, because sometimes you need some sleep as well. So we did more than 17 hours on the boat together in one leg. So we know what we can do to each other. So explaining again what I will do, so turning the boat around, and then we can raise the sails, talking through the plan what we will do, that everything is clear for everyone, that there is not a mistake. For now it's not that much of a wind, so it's not that important, but when there is more wind it can be fast. To know where we are on the water, where is a commercial route, where are other boats, and then he can turn the boat into the wind and I will hoist the sails. I will sweat on the mast. So, and we can start the hoisting. Sometimes the lead jigs are a little bit in the way, but okay. For now, just make it as tight as possible. And when needed, I can use the winch, of course, if the winch handle is still inside. So I will coil up the line as well. The engine is still running, the motor, so the engine is still running. The prop is running for now. So when the line will come in the prop, we have a big problem. So always coil up your lines and know your boat is clear. So I decided to take the winch handle as well and bring it a little bit more tight. And then we can go So we're still in the wind. There's not that much of tension in the sail, of wind blowing in the sail. You see it's still a little bit flapping around. And when I'm done, I can give the instruction to set course. And then you're set, of course. As well, I forgot to hoist my courtesy flag. The second time this year I forgot it. So I need to make sure that I will hoist it before we leave. I will add it to my checklist before we will set sail. So I will make a checklist. And then we can do all our checks, and that our flag of state and a courtesy flag is up as well in the checklist. So of course there is a light wind, light breeze. Mainsail is set for now. Beam reach, nice point of sail, fastest point of sail as well. And now we will set our head sail as well. So we bring out the Genoa, or for me it's the high aspect fog, if I like to be correct. Just learn the crew how to handle the lines and what to do and what not to do as well. Give them instruction, and if needed, like here, show it first, and you can do it the next time. And then clean it off, and we are off. Clean up as well the cockpit as much as possible with all the lines. Here you see the boat is a little bit angling, not that much. That's because this is the easiest and the nicest point of sail. Fastest for sure. Very safe as well. and the engine is off. It was just in neutral for the last couple of minutes, but now the engine is off, so I will note it in my logbook as well. So I have two logbooks. I have one for the ship, that's all about the ship, when I use my engine, how many hours, when I check the oil, what is the point of sale, what is my position at the time that I will note it, what is the wind, where is the wind coming from, the course that I will steer, speed over ground if needed. Notice some extras, a little diary when you're on bigger sails, but now just a day sail for a couple of hours, so it's not that important for now. But for sure, when I like to see it in history, in a logbook, of course, you know when you use your engine and how many hours. A couple of weeks ago I cleaned my tanks, so I know as well that I clean my tanks, and when I refill it as well, when I do my maintenance. Everything is in the ship logbook, and then I have my personal logbook, and that's pure for building my miles and point of proof that I did my miles. Yeah, you can wrote what you want, of course, but when the examiner is examining you, he will see if you did your miles or not, so you know it for sure how experienced someone is. And you see, in a small cockpit you like to sail when you are standing with your legs and your knees, and you're very stable as well. And looking up for the wind meter, that you see the direction directly on top of the mast is as well a nice thing to have. We can see it on the display as well where I'm standing in a companionway, but sometimes just seeing it analog, it's just know your instruments. And I will prepare my iPad as well, just for having a proper lookout. For me, I don't need it, but for the other crew members on board, it's a nice thing to see that where they are on the moment. You're just preparing the iPad for setting out. And for me, the boat is set. I will try a little bit to trim the head sail, and then we can just enjoy the sailing. Just try to trim it a little bit for having some more speed when we are just test myself. and I will see if my telltales are telling me the truth, and that's not. So I will reset my Genoa car on the side that my line is pulling more to the side or more below. So I will set my car forward, that my line is more pulling down on the sail. So here I'm on the low side, so when you are clipped in, when you will fall off, it's not that far because you are clipped in on the high side, of course. But for now it's a small sail, the boat is not going that fast, but we are trying to just have some more speed, of course. So normally when I'm solo, for sure I will be clipped in. Now I can just trim it a little bit more. And I know as well I have a crew member that can do a MOB, a man overboard maneuver. So I trust them with my life, and that's what you need to know and to do as well when you're sailing. Some people think sailing is some fun and playing around, but if you look to it, it's more in depth than you think. It's not just sailing, it's prepping, maintaining and checking everything once, twice and more than 2 times as well. So we need to triple check it. And here you will see the wind is catching, the trim is set. Now we can catch a little bit more wind as well. It's not always a gust predicted, but sometimes I find there is a little bit of wind upcoming. So that's why the boat will heel sometimes. As well, have a proper lookout. There is another boat on the starboard side, on the right side. So still need to know what that boat is doing, but for now, boat is set. We know that there is a boat, and we can just sit for a bit. So easy sailing weather, light breeze. First sail with a crew this year, still winter time. Let's see how beautiful it is. And I like to try my Polaroid sunglasses for the first time as well. And I have as well a cord on my glasses that I can't lose them. And when I lose them they will float, but yeah, when you're out at sea or at this particular time at the lake, or sort of a lake, it's connected with the sea, the North Sea, but when you lose them you don't find them anywhere, so it's just the idea that they will float, but for me it's more important that it will stay on my nose instead of losing him and hitting it float. Wow, what a difference. I need to check it for a time, but the glare of the sun catching on the water, it's so less. It's perfect. So what was my advice is just a brown Polaroid glasses, and ideal with a blue mirrored as well, but blue mirrored was not possible, so I have just the brown Polaroid glasses. But wow, it's so much easier to see in the sun and have less glare on the water from the sun that's catching. Just have a second try as well, but that's so much of a difference. And of course it will be a little bit browny, but the color for the most of the things are stay the same. The only thing is you can't read that easy a screen anymore. It will fade out. And just of course enjoy sailing, so just sometimes sit down, so here I will take over the tiller as well, that the other crew member can look around and see around. Of course everyone has a life jacket on, that's for me the bare minimum to have. And with more wind, of course we will clip in, but for now it's just an easy breeze. A max of 12 knots, but it's more 6 to 8 knots. And I have just the high aspect factor, so it's my head sail is not that big. To trim it as much as possible, but I don't have a big code zero or a jack or a spinnaker. For me it's not a race boat, of course, so it's just touring and enjoy sailing and not having top speeds. And here you see the wind is catching up sometimes when I trim the sails. And the other side on the left, you see the other boat coming. They are seeing it, but I don't see it at this time that the boat is coming. So here I just changed the general car as well again. I'm just checking the telltales. You don't see them, but it's a little bit of cord that is attached on the sail that will tell you the low and high pressure zones on the inside and outside of your sails. And they need to stay horizontal at 3 levels at the same time, and so you can trim it with your line. If you have questions, please give a comment in the chat. If you like this to see more, please give a follow. And if you liked it that much, please give me a subscribe as well. It will be appreciated, of course. In the summer I will plan a trip to the UK, and I like to live stream it as well, so then I need Starlink for sure, because there is no cellular data possible anymore. So time for coffee. At this point I need to decide as well if we can go around the sandbank or that we will stay and circle a couple of times around because we have a reservation. So normally I don't like it to have a time limit when we are sailing, but yeah, sometimes you need to decide some things and you're limited on your time, of course. We need to drive as well more than an hour to get back home. It's a Sunday that we recorded this once, so yeah, Monday is working day. So like you see, the wind is falling down a little bit. We are talking through what we will do for the maneuver, the next step. That everything is clear for everyone, of course. One experienced crew member, one not experienced crew member, so we need to talk through, get a proper lookout, explain everything, and we will check out everything. So this was port 1 already. So next Monday, 6 p.m. UTC, 7 p.m. Central European time, we are back with port 2. So I like to say, if you like to see this more, please give me a follow. We will stay connected and see each other next Monday, of course.